Hey guys, and welcome to my review of Desolate. Desolate is a survival horror game developed by Niaga and published by Hyperdrain Digital. The game is developed in Russia and is based on the Unreal Engine by Epic Games. The game is in early access right now, and so this review is based on an early build. As such, the chances are that when it's released it might have improved quite a lot. Let's firstly talk about the gameplay. Desolate takes place on the fictional island of Granichny, where experiments performed in secret have dramatically mutated the land, people and animal life. We, as the player, are dubbed as volunteer and sent away to perform tasks and gather information. The game is a first-person shooter set in a dark, gloomy world. The game looks absolutely wonderful in the light and atmospheric in the dark, adding greatly to its horror style. The game tries incredibly hard to incorporate crafting into the style, however, it seems to detract from the horror theme, making the game look like a mishmash of ideas. The enemies in the game are very scary looking, with the human-based enemies looking dark and possessed. The animal-based enemies look like they've been twisted with the exposure to nuclear waste. This looks amazing and also sets the scene. However, they perform most of the time like they're brain-dead zombies and can only offer a boring take on combat. This is often shown as they stand in front of you, repeatedly swinging their weapons, and that is it. Nothing else. The only part of the game that I could find that was horrific or scary as such was the fact that they used jump scares. This is repeated far too often and isn't really that scary after a while. Far too many times have games called themselves horror, when really it's not. It's jumpy and unnerving, but not horror. Let's get back to the crafting. The crafting's quite simple. It's basically collect said items and click the recipe. There you are, you have crafted an item. This is good. I mean, for the most part this is good. It's great for newcomers to the game. However, the more experienced people that play games like 7 Days to Die will need a lot more than this. It's nice to see that most of the characters in the game are voiced. Voice actors are a necessity in setting the scene in most games, especially horror games. It's kind of hard to be creeped out by a few lines of text. The music is very atmospheric. It works well in a horror game. It's eerie, creepy at times, but it works. The sound effects too, they are great. The growling, the mutants muttering to themselves. It's brilliant. It sets you in the scene. It really does scare you. The skill tree in the system are quite good. I like the idea of being able to click a skill when I've earned enough XP and being able to benefit from it immediately. It's far from finished and needs a lot more work. However, right now I really did see a difference when applying these skills. Item management is great. It's based on weight, so you don't have to try stacking items too much, although it does support stacking of these important items. Now, I only have a few problems with the game really. Other than the fact that the enemies seem brain dead and you know, the attacking and the artificial intelligence is not really there, are things like the map. The map was quite annoying. I found myself many times looking at the map and thinking, where am I? you can't zoom. Well, I should say you can't zoom completely out so you can see the whole area, the whole map. And this just makes it impossible for getting around. I should say, however, that if you're in a mission and you've been given a task to find something, it is labelled correctly. So it's not the end of the world, it's not as bad as I'm making out.